start and do and it is starting. Yeah, it got started. And now I will go to src, and here as usual I will create a components folder. So this is all getting recorded, and maybe it will allow me to edit because I wasted some time. So or else I will upload it like this only. Class counter.js. So components and class counters generally will follow this only in class based means. Let me increase the font size. Okay, and I have this. So first what we are going to see. So class counter I have written because everything what I am going to teach, first I will teach the class based thing, and then we will change into a functional. Okay, then we'll change into a functional. So first the class based we'll do. So what I'm going to do, I have a plugin installed. I think most of us know about that plugin, and that extension is this snippet, a very popular plugin you can also install. And let me go back, and rcc is there, snippet, and it will give me like this. And but I will cut it and export default. We generally do it like this. So export default class counter I will do. And general classes have constructor also, which runs when the class runner sees. Right now also this is so much complicated syntax because the constructor and all these are all object oriented language. So r const is there, is a short form. R const is a short form, just to get the snippet. So we have a state variables. If you don't know what is this dot state, you go through the reactjs course completely and you will know what is this dot state. And then I will have count equals 0. Okay, count is 0, and this is our state start. Then I will have a simple button. So this is fragment I'm using, button. I'll have a button, and in button count, and if I give this dot state dot count, so this is the state dot count I will give. So it will show me whatever it is 0, so it is giving me error because object don't have this semicolon, so it is giving me error, so I removed it. And now we will have a on click also here in this button. On click is this dot, let us name any functions we can have. Again that this keyword have come, increment count I will have. So, and this increment count I can have it outside. I will use the arrow function, or else there is a lot of issues there if we don't use an arrow function and all. So that is again there in my class based React course, you can go through it. So arrow function you don't have to worry much about binding and all. So and then this dot set state is how we change the state. This dot set state count is this dot state dot count +1. Like this, it is generally advisable to take it like this. So count, we are changing the count whenever we are incrementing. So on click handler is there. This is how React works. And now let us include it in the app.js, or else it will show like this React only app.js. I'll go. We will not change much. Logo we don't want, all this logo and all these things we don't want, and header and all also we don't want. So I will remove everything, and here I will put the class counter. Let me do the auto import. Auto import might have done. Yeah, auto import is done. So or else you have to give this path. So auto import is done and class counter is been called now. And let me see. Yeah, the count has been shown here. So yeah, okay. So this is basic class based one. So now we are going to change it to a hook base and use state hooks we are going to change. So for that we will create a hook counter dot js file, and here I will have a rfce, again a short form, so you can get the skeleton code, and this is a functional component. So how we will declare the hook? So hook has got something known as array destructuring. If you don't know, I can tell about it later, or else I think I have that in my ES6 course. I have that in my ES6 course, so you can go through it. Array destructuring, so that is what we use in a hook. So I'm converting the same thing in a hook. Okay, let me do like this. So const count comma set count equal to use state. Use state is the hook, and I will give it as 0. Okay, and now I have to also import it like this. I have to import the use state hook, or else it will give a. So what is this statement? This statement is actually exactly similar to this statement. So this dot state equal to this object count of 0 is there. So what is there? So it means, as I've told, this is array destructuring. So when it means that count is equal to 0, exactly same statement, count is equal to 0, and set count, we have something known as set state here. We just have one thing known as set state, but the difference in hooks is there that in use state or any other use state hook especially, we have different, like this I can have multiple use state hooks also. So every time I have to give it a different name. Generally it is advisable to give what is the name is there, make it camel case and give it. So set count I have given, but here it is set state is for everything, and if we have 2-3 other states, we'll give a comma and give it here, but here we have to give it like this, another we have to create with a different name we have to create. Okay, so yes, recording will be available. So this is there, and now the same thing I'm going to convert now. Button I will do, and hook count I will do, and here we don't have any state concept, but this dot state and all those things we don't have this dot state and all those things. Let me close it, do it like this only. Okay, so this all these things we will not have. So just we need to have count, we just need to have count, and it is like a state, and then on click handler will be there. On click handler, the good thing is that we can have it here itself, means we don't have to go outside also we can create, but the code is so small that we will make it here only, and we will call it here itself like this, and then set count is not class name and something. Set count is count plus 1 like this, and this statement is exactly similar to this statement. Count is equal to this dot state dot count plus 1, so it is doing exactly the same thing. Count plus 1 means it will do count equal to count plus 1, so you don't even need to have a complex statement like this. and in object I'm passing count is useState.count plus or no. You don't even have this complex statement anymore, and by this the hook is done, and hook count is there I've given. So I have to go to the app.js, and now as in React I have to include this hook count also. Hook counter I have to include, and self ending, save it, and see the hook count has been formed. And in class-based component also, Mohammed, we can use arrow functions. We can use arrow function whenever we required, because okay, arrow function, you're asking what is the difference between arrow function and without arrow function. So it's a very big topic, and it is there in my ES6 course, but I will tell the difference. Means this keyword gives a lot of problem in your class-based component or in JavaScript in general. Means this belongs to the global object, so this doesn't belong to your function itself. Means whatever function is calling, it creates a lot of problem. If you don't give arrow function, the syntax becomes very difficult, and you can use it anywhere. Means if I don't use this, I have to bind this. If you go through my class-based course, you will see that I have to use it. If I use a normal function, I have to use a binding variable. Means bind I have to use, because this doesn't belong to the function in the, if you don't use arrow function. Hope it answers your questions. Connect with me if you want to know more. Okay, so this count I have given, and this all is done. Let us see that whether it is working. Yeah, it is working fine, and it is also working fine. So both of them are working. Okay, so this is how this dot state means state works, and this is how the use state hooks work. And I will continue in this use state only, and some other questions. Let me see. Okay, so now we'll see some more complicated ways of this use state. So use state, see, actually there are only two most important hooks in React. One is useState, another is useEffect, and useEffect is such a powerful hook that with that single useEffect hook, which we'll do in the next class, we have React have converted all the lifecycle methods, which are very complicated in class-based component. When you go through my course, you will also see that, and in production level code, it gets even more complicated. Okay, so it is like that. So use state, now we will do use state with previous state. Okay, so now we'll create another counter to .js. For counter to .js I will create again. Okay, const initial count equal to 0, const count and set count equal to useState and initial count. Okay, so useState I have to import Now let's have this count as count button is reset. We have 3 buttons. Someone is asking something. Yeah, we can initialize it like react.useState, but it is not a good way. Means it's complicated codes, and nobody prefers that. You never find it in production. Developers are very lazy. They will always find the easy way. Nobody will use that like that, because it is a simple thing. If I have 100 of user state, 100 times I have to do that react.useState. So Mohammed, I think it answers our question. Increment decrement and on click is like set count or something I'm missing. Yeah, so set count on click reset will make it to initial count, which is 0, so it will again make it to 0, and yeah, count plus 1 is increment, and count minus 1 is decrement. We save it, and let us remove both of these things. We will remove it like this. I'll paste the GitHub code for this. Hook counter 2. I will do hook counter 2. Now I will have these 3 buttons like this, and if I go increment, decrement, reset, everything is working. Okay, everything is working, but why I wanted to show this thing is that there is a issue. Which plugin I'm using, which plugin I'll show once again. This plugin I'm using, ES7 React GraphQL React Native de-zinger, and all this you get used to it. Means all the shortcuts RCC and all those things, you get used to it once you start using it. RCC, RFC, all those things. Not many RCCs there, RFC I use hardly 2-3. Mainly I use it for the skeleton. So one is this RCC and this, and one is RAFC. I use only these 2. So this is the increment and decrement. And now what I want to do, I want to do we are going to see another thing here, that I'll have another button here, button and increment 5. So what will this button do? It will increment it the 5 times. So on click, and I will have increment 5. This is just I'm calling a function, so we can call it outside also. Here we have seen everything, we are calling it inside, but in hooks also we can call it outside. So like this, const increment 5 equal to, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to run a for loop. For let I equal to 0, I is less than 5, I plus plus, like this, and set count is count plus 1. Okay, set count is count plus 1. I'll do. So what it is doing, what I am thinking, that whenever I click on this increment 5, it will go here, loop it 5 times, and set the count to means 5 times. So the count will, if it is 0, it should become 5. So that is my thinking. Okay, so let me go there and check whether my thinking is right or not. So I am here, and so let me go refresh it once. So this increment 5 I am pressing, see, only 1 is going, 2 is going, 3 is going. So it is not incrementing it by 5. It is not, it is only incrementing it by 1. So why it is only incrementing it by 1, and why it is not incrementing it by 5? What is the issue? So the issue is that means it is incrementing by 5 and not 1, because what is happening here, that React does some thing. It combines all the calls. It combines the call. It combines everything, means it do optimization. When it sees a lot of set count is there, it optimize those things. Okay, a lot of set count is there, it optimize that thing. So this is what is happening there. It is optimizing that thing. So this is some internal thing which React does, and to solve this issue, what we are going to do, we have to pass a second thing to it, and this is known as pref count. And this is something which happens in a React world a lot of time. Is this generally leads to production issues also. But the thing is that this is a very special case. You should all know this is a very special case. This is not a generic case. See, most of the time people don't do like this, but this happens in production code a lot. So we have a concept of the old state being retaining the old state, and that is known as pref count. So see, right now in the set count we are passing count plus 1. So there is something known as pref count. So pref count is there, and it will be pref count plus 1. See, this is arrow thing. This is a short form of arrow function. This is arrow function only. This means I am calling a function. Whenever this arrow is there and only one line is there, it means I am calling a function. Only one line is there, and this means you can go through my ES6 again. It means return pref count plus 1. So this pref count concept is there whenever we are facing such issue in which React does the optimization. React is doing optimization, so that's why this we have to do. And then once we do pref count here, we have to do pref count. It's advisable to do it at other places also. So I'll do that pref count plus 1, and here the pref count minus 1 I will do. Okay, minus 1 I will do, and save it. And now let us go back again, and let me refresh it, and let me do the increment 5. See, 5 times it is increasing, 10, 15, like this. This is 1, this is minus, but 5 times it is increasing. So this is known as use state with previous state. Okay, so go through it again. It is not like that. No need to initialize the previous pref count. It's a different concept. So now we will going to see another thing. These are all special cases we are seeing. So we are now going to see the use state with object. So use state with object behave in a different way. So for that, that is not got set to 4. Who said it set to got set to 4? Reset is there. 5 it is increasing. Increment 5 will call that 5, 15 and all those things. This is a simple increment button. This is only increased to 1. This is decreased to 1. And now I am creating like this. Okay. So we will move ahead and do the hook counter 3.js file and rafce is I'm going to do, and then we are going to see, now we are going to see use state with objects. We are going to see. Okay, so in this use state with object means the main thing will be object const name comma set name equal to use state first name. So object means the initially we are passing it to the object, we are passing the numbers and all those things till now, number and all those things. Okay, so now we are not passing a number, we are passing an object. First name is there, last name is there, like this, first name and last name, object we are passing. Okay, so now here, yeah, it will give me error. Use state, let me do it, auto import, and here form is there and input type text and so value. So I think I have teached form in the class based one also. Form are very important things in React and they works in a different way. They're also called control component here. Okay, so name dot first name, because name is assigned to this whole object, so name dot first name I can do value, and on change will be equal to, I'll do it here only, e is set name, but it is not e dot target dot value like this. It is, we have to make it equal to something. So first I should close it. Okay, and then because this is object only, so first name is like e dot target dot value. I have to do like this, and this is the last name. Last name is again set name is e dot target dot value, and then h2 first name is name dot first name, and last name is name dot last name. Save it. Hook counter is like this, and now let us show this in the app.js. Hook counter 3 is imported. We remove this, save it, and hook counter 3 is there, and it has been shown first name and last name. So now see these two boxes are there. I will write my first name Bindu and write my last name. see the weird kind of behavior it is doing. When I'm giving the first name, it is removing the last name, and when I give the last name, it will remove the first name. See, so it is doing like this. So why it does like this? So because to visualize this, okay, let us see one more thing to visualize this much better. We'll do one more thing. H2 I'll do, and JSON dot stringify name I'll do. So let's do the JSON dot stringify name. So name is a complete thing which has got the first name and the last name both. So let us do that, and let me refresh it. And so right now it is nothing is there. So if I put something here, see, it is coming. If I put something here, this is coming. So this is the issue. So it is the issue that when the first name is given, the last name is getting removed. This happens because this when we use useState, it doesn't automatically update and merge the objects. So it when we do object merging, that with spread operator and all, that I am again told in my ES6 also. So that merging need to happen. That merging doesn't happen in this case. So for that we will use a ES6 concept, and that is the reason I always say is that ES6 is the first step for React. Yes, we use a lot of ES6 concept, so that's why I have taught ES6 also in a bonus course. So advanced Java, async JavaScript and ES6 course. So that is very important, because see, again, now I am going to fix this problem with the ES6 solution, and this is also ES6. This array destruction is also ES6. This is also ES6. All of these things are ES6. So if you know ES6, it is very easy to understand here. So as I've told, this merging is not been done. So to do the merging, what I have to do, I have to use the spread operator, and I have to do the dot name. Where am I? Comma. Oh, what has happened? Dot name, and not like this, and this comma I have to give dot name, comma. So I have to give it here also. What is does this dot name? It destructure the thing. It will take whatever is there in the name first. So whatever is there, whatever is the previous state, it will take that dot name, everything. It will destructure, it will spread it, and then it will append whatever is changing. So first name is changing here, last name is changing here, so it will do that. Okay, so like this, I will come here, let me refresh it. Now see, both of them are there, and I will Hindu. See, still last name is there because we have destructured it, and Swas, so both of them will be there. So this is what we solve through object destructuring, and this issue will happen when we pass a object as a use state, initial state. So earlier we have passed only in numbers and all, so it was not happening, but object needs it, this merging things a lot. So because of that it happened. So now we will look into our last example quickly, and that is use state with array. Okay, use state with array we will look. So hook counter 4.js I'll do, and RFCE, again RFCE I'll do. Okay, now const items comma set items equal to use state, and array, an empty array I'm taking. So this is the case which we are going to see now. Okay, and so it is not that complicated, this thing, but like this button, a button is there, add a number, on click equal to add item. I don't know why this class name is coming. On click add item is there. So add item, we are going to create an ordered list, and so an ordered list item. So I'm going to show a different thing. So this add item, I'm going to create it now. Const add item equal to like this, set items is like, again we have to do this what is called a spread operator here. A spread operator is again required here. So I'll do the spread operator dot item. So oh, I don't know why it is coming like this, dot height. Some intelligent code editor is taking all these things, nonsense things, dot items, and then just doing, I'm just doing an ID, okay, and items dot length comma value is math dot random into 10. So what I'm doing, whatever the item is there earlier, and I'm pushing a new thing to it. Okay, so first time when it will come, this is an empty array, so there will be nothing. So first time the ID and items dot length will be 0, and the random thing will be selected. So ID and this will be done. Okay, so if I do this, nothing will happen. Anyways, I have not done. So this items is an array, so I can map through it. So I will map through it. Inside this here, I will map through it. Items dot map item and li item dot value. And in React, as we know, in class base also I told we need a key, or else it doesn't optimize good. So item dot id I have to do, and the items dot value, this is the way to show it. Let me save it and go here, and hook counter 4 is like this, and save it. useState is not defined. I know this error will come sometime. It's okay. Okay, so this is there, this big button is there, add a number, and I will click on it. See, this is going to add this thing, just any random number it actually picks, and it just item dot value, I'm looping through it. ID I'm using for the unique ID, so key ID is unique, and then item dot value, whatever is there, which is a random number actually. And as I've told, it will keep on spreading it and adding to it. So when it keep on spreading it, dot items, then this items dot length is there, and it gets added, and so this is how we loop through a array in React through map. So this is all again I have told in my class based also a lot. So go through this example again, you will understand it. It is not a very big thing, because this and these are almost same, means we have to use the spread operator in both of the scenarios, so that we can get the earlier items, and it has been done. So both of these things are very important. useEffect hook is the second most important hook. So the useEffect hook is used to perform a lot of side effect like DOM updates and API calls and all those things in functional component. Actually, they're close replacement of the complete lifecycle method, which is component did mount, component did update, and component will unmount. This app.js is there because I'm started using Zoom. From now I will use Zoom only. Okay, so app.js is there. Yeah, I was telling about the useEffect hook. So useEffect is a close replacement of the component did mount, component did update, and component will unmount. So we will first we will see useEffect after render. So now to learn useEffect, again what we are going to do, we are going to see the class based component first, and then we will convert it into a hook based component. Okay, so again what we are going to do in app.js, we are going to create a component class counter1.js, class counter1.js, and rcc. Okay, rcc I have done. Then here export default class counter1, here are cons. So what we're doing first doing it with class based, and then we will see how to convert it to a hook based useEffect. Okay, count is 0. Okay, and so here I'm going to have a button, and on click will be equal to this dot set state count is this dot state dot count plus 1. So just I'm increasing the state, and here I will show click this dot state dot count times. So this many times it is clicked, and let me see when npm start. I am even not done npm start. npm start. Okay, so just click this much times, and then we are going to see the two lifecycle methods. One is component did mount and component did update. Hope you all have done my reactjs course or learned it, means from a class based thing, because that you should learn, means what is component did mount. So we will do component did mount and document dot title equal to clicked this dot state dot count times. So component did mount, as we all know, it runs only one time. So what I am doing here, I am doing here the document title I am changing, component did mount, and then document dot title by that. Okay, so one more thing, I will include this class counter1 instead of this. Class counter1 I will include. Okay, save it. Okay, let me complete the code. Component did update, in which I will take prev props and previous state, document dot title clicked, okay. So just component did mount the first time when it will load. So component did mount will show the document title as 0. Then whenever I increase it, this component did update will also run, and it will also increase the this count also and the other count also. So what other count I'm telling? I'm talking about this count. So document.title is changing this count, and click this time. So 0 I'm doing, so 1 is it is coming, 2 it is coming, 3 it is coming. So it is working like normal. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, now we are going to change this thing with hooks. Okay, so this is the these things with the hook. So let us do that. Hook counter 1.js and hook counter 1.js I have done, and then so for the state concept, again we have to use the useState, because the state concept in a function component is done through useState. So I will do const count comma set count use state of 0, as we have learned in the previous hook thing. This is how we use the use state. And then here I will go do button on click is there, and set count is set count. I will do set count is count plus 1. Set count is this, count plus 1, yeah, count plus 1, and click count times, and okay, this one let me remove it. Okay, so this is just normal I have done right now. Use state, that thing I have not yet done. Okay, but let me do this. Okay, so counter, what it is giving, JSON expected. Okay, fatter row, I didn't create this fatter row. I save it. Use state is not defined. Okay, now it is coming. So this is okay, this is taking the older one. Okay, so this I have not yet done, so let me do that, and that is when we will convert this. Okay, so the exact equivalent of this two statement we are going to see now. Use effect. So use effect is written like this. Inside it we write a function, and then we this is arrow function, and then we write what is there. What is there? Okay. Someone mute. So background noise coming from someone. Can someone mute? Okay. So okay. So yeah. So this use effect is there. So this is how use effect is been used. Means arrow function we give, and with the arrow function we call it. Okay, so here we are writing document dot title equal to, again, this clicked count times. Okay, and as I have told this, okay, user effect we have to import also. we can use it in a different way. So what it does, so what this thing was doing, component did mount. When the component first time mount, the component did mount will run, and component did mount will run, it will make it 0. Then whenever I click and the state is the state has been changed, so this will re-render and component did mount will run, and because the component did update will run, and because of that your this thing will change. But in use effect, what it happens means there are different ways to use effect, actually 3-4 ways. So the first effect, so we give some parameter here. If you don't give anything here, this means that it will run like component did mount also, and which is the initial it is giving is 0, and then if I click, it will increase, means it will run a component did update. So with this thing we are replacing this thing, and this is one of the main reason why React way hooks are told to be so simple. All these things, all this complicated thing has been changed to just this single line, this single use effect. And use effect doesn't end here actually. Okay, so this is just the first thing which we have seen, the use of use effect. Okay, so there are use 3-4 other things also in use effect which we are going to see. The second parameter, this parameter which we give, with that we can define how use effect will work. Okay, how use effect will work, we can define with that. Yeah. Okay, so now now we have seen that how use effect runs after every render, but it create performance problem, and in certain cases we don't want it, we want it to run conditionally, and that conditionally thing we will see first. Means again we are going to see a class counter example, and then we are going to change it to the use effect way. Okay, so again let's do the class counter thing. Okay, so counter 2.js. Okay, class counter 2.js, and again it will be actually same as this. So let me copy this completely. Oh, I don't want this RCC. Okay, so this I have done. Okay, and what we are going to have now, we are going to have another state here which is name, which is a empty string. Okay, so component did mount, we are changing with component did mount, we are again changing the title. Okay, but with yeah, I want to add a console log here also, clg console log, updating document title I'll give. Okay, and this is done. Okay, now what I am going to do, see this name is there, so I am going to have an input box also here. Value is this dot state dot name, and on change is not like this, I'll make it here only. So e is this dot set state, name is e dot target dot value. I hope, yeah, everything is right. Yeah, so this is just the class based things which we always use. So I want to show something now. So let's include it. What is this class counter 2? Class counter 2, I have included it. So back in our local host, let's see one thing. So we have like this inspect. Let me make it big only. Inspect and console is there, and okay, I have to remove this here. A bindu. Okay, so the thing is that see, let me come back again. I'm clicking it. So it is updating document title. It is okay. It is, this is the behavior which I wanted, updating document title. But if I write something here, it should not update the document title, because it should not run this thing, because it's a waste. Means in bigger project it causes a lot of problem, because what in React, what happens if some state or props get changed, the whole component is re-rendered. So when the whole component is re-rendered, it's a performance issue. And bigger projects, I have worked in a lot of big projects, and it causes a lot of performance issue, these things. Because I only want my component did update, which is this component did update, to run when someone click on the document, click on this button. But it is also been run because I'm only changing that here. It is only also been run when I input something in the text box, which is not a desirable feature. It is because it has been called because the state is getting changed here. So that's why component did update will call. So to fix this issue, what we do in a class based component is that we will have a if state here. So that is one of the reason we have this priv state and a priv props and a priv state. Okay, so we'll have like this: if priv state dot count, it is okay, it has given me priv state dot count not equal to this dot state dot count. So not this dot state dot count, then only run this. It means both of them are different, then only run this. Previous state dot count is not equal to, it means both of them are different, then only run this. So let us go back and let me refresh it, and now I will click it and it will update it, because the state is getting changed, count value is getting changed. But see, if I come here and write anything, write my name, okay, so then the state is not getting changed. So the component, even it is coming here, even it is coming to here, component did update, but it will not go inside this loop, so the re-render will not happen. So this is how we make the performance in the class based thing. So now this is such a complicated logic. Okay, so now we will see how to make this complicated logic easy with hooks. Okay, so again hook counter 2.js. 2.js is there. Hook counter, let me make it 5.js. okay, hook counter 5.js RAFCE. okay, hook counter 5, and again it will have a lot of things similar to that. So I will copy it and paste it here. Okay, so this is there, and I will have another count also, and not a count, means the see like this name I will have name set name, which is a empty string like this, and again let me have CLG here, use effect updating document title like this, anything is sufficient, and then again I will have this, so I will have a fragment, and then the input box, input type text, value is name, and on changes e is set name e dot target dot value. So only this much is required. Okay, let me save it. Okay, and now hook counter 5, hook counter 5, hook counter 5, hook counter 5. Save it. And if we go here and refresh it, and it will do the same thing, same issues it will do as we were getting it at that time. Also the same issues we will get, but we are getting the class, and then we have to fix it through this, and now this issue will be fixed in a very simple way. Okay, so there is a second parameter which can be taken here, and I would just give a comma and just write count. It means that it will change only when this count is being changed, count state variable is changed, this useEffect will run. Okay, this means that sometimes we can give, if there are more state variables are there, we can give a comma and give them, because in bigger project we do it like that. So that's unless rendering is not happen. So this is how we make the project very efficient using the useEffect. Only it will, so there are two state variables, one is name is, one is count, so it will only change if the count is changed. So we will come back here, let me refresh it, and now see it is doing in this now, but I will write my name and it's not updating. So this is how the useEffect is used in a conditional thing. Okay, so conditional thing is done, normal way is done, and now we'll see our very important use of useEffect, which is useEffect only once, means use the useEffect only once. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, so useEffect only once means we are going to mimic the component did mount. Component did mount is something which runs only once when the component is mounted. It is not, it is somewhat similar to constructor also, but it doesn't run more than once. Okay, so for this we have seen a lot of this kind of example. So we'll see a new example, which is let's call it again we'll see the class based example first. So it will be class mouse.js, and then cc and here I will have two variable, x equal to 0 comma y is 0, these two variables I will have, and x is this dot state dot x, y is this dot state dot y, and now component did mount window dot add event listener. We are adding an event listener which is mouse move, and this dot log mouse position some. Oh, I'm not able to tell much today. I have on screen only. Okay, so it's okay. So this is there, and yeah, this we have to create. So once the component did not, event listener is added, which will work on the mouse move, and now I have to write a function for this, and it is e, and this dot set state, and y is e dot client. So this client, client x and client y are available to the browser actually, so you can get hold of them using like this. So what I'm doing, I'm just changing the mouse position, and it will log this thing. We'll see it will show something cool. So then this class mouse is there, come back, class mouse and class mouse, save it. Okay, hope it is working. Yeah, see, I can move whenever I'm moving the mouse. This is rendering. So the windows.add event listener, it starts the moment the component did mount, and then it updates with this this.log mouse position. It updates the position, so it is working like that. Okay, so now we will implement the same using the useEffect. Okay, so how to do that? Come here, hook mouse.js, RAFCE, hook mouse, and then here. So we want to implement the component did mount, and div here we have to do the again the user state. We have to do const x comma set x, s should be small, equal to use state of 0. Okay, let me import this also. Okay, and it is y comma set y, and then hooks is x y is y, and now we will change it to the first we'll change it to the useEffect, and then we will see how to change it to a component did mount so that it can run only once. So useEffect console log is hook useEffect called window dot add event listener move mouse move comma let me copy this from here, log mouse position and log mouse position const, we have to give a const here, const log mouse position equal to e set x is e dot line text and set y is like this. Save it. So to have it work like your component did mount, means it was starting only when this windows.id when listener was done, and then it was going there. So to do that, we have to come here and give a empty bracket. So empty bracket only we will give. Okay, so just this empty bracket we will give, and it will behave like a component did mount. So we have seen earlier, if we give the something like count here inside it or whatever the state variable, it will dependent on that. But if you give an empty square bracket, it will behave like component did mount. So see, till now we have seen it behaving like three things, means one is component combination of component did mount and component did update, one is component did update with some conditions, and this is only component did mount. It is working like component did mount, it is mimicking the component did mount. Okay, so I have not yet done this hook mouse. I have to do, okay, let me do hook mouse. Hook mouse is there. Okay. See this, both of them are changing now. Okay, so both of them are changing. Hook useEffect is called. So this is how it is done. Okay, so now we will see another very good thing about useEffect, which is the useEffect with cleanup. So cleanup is required a lot of time even in the class-based component. So why the cleanup is required, we will see the example again first. With the same thing only we are going to see why the cleanup is required. Okay, so for this we will have a new class, means we will use this example only. Okay, so we'll have a new class known as mouse container.js, mouse container.js, and here refcel2. Okay, we'll just see the hook only here. Okay, so here button toggle display, but okay, not like this, display toggle display, just a button is there, and on click, not like this. To call a set display to not of display. So what is this set display? We are going to have a state variable const display comma set display equal to useState true. So it is like this, and let import useState. useState is imported, and After that, so initially it will be true, so it is something like a toggle thing. Okay, so after that, if display is true, then it will call the hook mouse. To contain the hook, call the hook mouse. So something like this, and then okay. So in hook mouse also I want to do something CLG mouse event. Okay, so now let me come here, remove these things, and we'll call the mouse container. The mouse container I'll call. So what is happening? So the mouse container has been called, and mouse container is having a button, and I can toggle it, and I can see the hook mouse been called. Not, so it is not even changed. Okay, do it a bit small. Okay, so see, this hook mouse is working because by default it is true, so it will show this thing. But what I'm doing, but the moment I do toggle display, the display will be false, and the hook mouse component should go away, so it should not be there anymore. So it is sort of unmounted. Okay, so this mouse event is there, I will come here, toggle it, so that component has been gone from the down. But see, the mouse is still been done. See, the mouse event is still been done, and it is also giving us a very big error. It is telling us that there is a memory leak in the application. Yeah, you have to do a useEffect cleanup function. So this, we are getting that error also because the memory leak is there, component is not there, but we are still getting the mouse event, which should not happen. So there is a memory leak in your application. So to fix that, what we need to do, let me see, I'm not writing the class based thing here, but in class based what happens, I can show the same thing in class based also. So there is a component did mount is there. So similarly, I will just write it down, but I will not show component will unmount. There was another lifecycle method which is known as component will unmount. Those who have used React earlier know this thing. And there is something like when we do this, means whenever the component unmount, we will come here, and there is something known as remove event listener also, and this like this, remove event listener, and this will do like this. Okay, so this is how this works. I'm not going to show this, and we can again create a mouse container and all those things. Okay, so how to do this thing in the same hook? So hook, how we will do? So hook, actually it's a bit different way to do. The syntax is a bit different, but again everything we are doing to use means hook only. We are not, means here we have to call another lifecycle method which is known as component will unmount. But here we have, what we have to do, we have to call something known as return here, return like this. Okay, so this is a cleanup function. Let me have a CLG also, console log also. Component unmounting code, and same thing I'll call here windows dot remove event listener log mount position. Okay, so let me save it, and now we'll go back here again, refresh it again, it is moving, and then I'll go to toggle display component unmounting code. See, it is not even do, and see, component unmounting code means this one was ran, and the windows dot remove event listener was done, and this is how useEffect is there, and this. So this is about useEffect. So let me quickly show another thing, means how to fetch data using useEffect. I think most useEffect is used a lot to fetch data also. So let me show that how to fetch data with useEffect. Okay. So for that I'm here. I can do it with fetch also, but I'm lazy to do that. So I have to first install a library, because this promise then either I can use the inbuilt fetch also, but I'm doing it with Axios. So I will do the npmi Axios. Okay, it is done. Data fetching.js. Okay, and rafce. Okay, data fetching, and here const post comma set post equal to useState. Okay, so we are post and we are going to use the famous JSON placeholder and post. So it will give us this API. So we are going to use that. So use state empty array, because why we are taking an empty array, because it is returning us as an array. So most of the time in the internet, array of object you will only get. All the internet works this way only. So array of object you are getting. So this empty array I am taking because of that, and then I have to show it somewhere. Okay, so let me write the code for that also first. So it is let me write it inside an unordered list. Post dot map. We will soon get the post array, and I'll see. So post or item also you can take, it doesn't matter, and anything you can take. Li. Why it is giving this li? Post dot title. Okay, I am only taking the title because this is returning a lot of things. Let me take the title. Li key equal to post dot id, like this. So because React always expect a unique thing to be added, so the key is been added here. So key will be added. ID is unique, so I have given the ID. So now we will get the data. So we have to use the useEffect. useEffect Axios dot get, and like this, I will do. Then it I can use either the then thing or then and catch block, or what is async await I can use. So let me use the then both of them are equal, and it depends, whatever you can use. Set post press dot data, and if some error is there, so then block is sometimes better, means You don't have to use a try catch. So in async await, generally we should use a try catch there, but most people don't use that. Catch error is console.log of error. Okay, so like this. Okay, let me save it. Data fetching. Data fetching. Clear it. Save it. Okay, use effect again, the same. Okay, same error. Save it. Okay, so it has been done, but see what is happening. It has been called so many times. Because again we should not call it like this. We should only call it once, and again we will use the same thing. Whenever you do something like this, the bigger app will break, because it will do 100 of times this call to this API endpoint. So always use it like a component did mount, and use this bracket, and if I give it, so it will run, actually it will run only once. And it will fetch the data. Okay, so this is how it is done. And now, okay, actually it is done. Nothing else much to say. Okay, if I give 1, what will happen? So it is something like this, means I can get it on a per post basis also from here. So let us see a small example, then we will end this class. So there is a bit time, it's okay. So I will show another thing. Last example of the day. Okay, so like this post, I will have another thing of ID and set ID. This will, by default it will have 1, because it need to have something. And so the same 1 2 3 4 whatever I can pass. So first thing is that I have to change it to template string, because I'm going to pass something. So a lot of ES6 features we use. So this template string I'll do, and then here ID I'll do. Okay, ID I'll do, and then so ID is a state. Actually ID is a state, so I can make it ID here. So it will change whenever the ID is changed. It is very important, okay, or else it will not change. So this example we have seen earlier. So then input type text, value is not post, value is ID, and on change is e, set ID is e dot target dot value. Yeah, set ID is this. Save it. Data fetching 2, I'll save it. And okay, so let me come back here. Post dot map is not a function. Okay, yeah, we're not even mapping to it. Actually copy pasting these things always happen. Just it is post dot title. So I think I have to change some other places also. It is not a post, it is a post singular, so we should always give it right. So it is a singular thing, so it is again a singular thing. So yeah, a single post is coming because this API endpoint, where is it? Yeah, this API endpoint we are getting the only the single object we are getting. Okay, so I'm come back and save it. So like this, but it's coming like this. Okay, so 1 is there, so first post is coming. So 2 I will give, 2 will become 3, I will give, 3 will come, 4 I will give, 4 will come. So just to show this, that this way can also be done, and by this we complete the use effect. So go through it multiple times. We are going to see the context API, especially the use context hook. So first we will see the normal one. So we have learned about context in the class based also. If you have not learned, go back and check the context in the class based also. So what does context do? So suppose that there is this scenario is there, there's app component is there, and it needed to pass some data to the component C, and component C have two component before it. Maybe this is child component, this is the parent, and this is the grandparent. So if you want to pass some data from app component to component C, we have to pass through A and B, although A and B doesn't require the data. So this is a very big problem in React and other frameworks also. So what one solution is there? One solution is to have a Redux store as a central store and pass it to their, and whoever wants that can have it. But it is an overkill for a small application, and a small application context is there because Redux have a lot of overhead is there, and we'll soon going to cover Redux also. Redux has a lot of overhead, so that will be a overkill. So in the context, we can directly pass from here to here instead of going from A to B. Suppose there are hundreds of components between them, then that is known as prop drilling. So prop drilling is not good. So we'll learn about context now, how to pass data from component A to maybe directly component C. Okay, so we'll do that. But for that, we'll try to look without the context API. Okay, so like a normal way, we're going to look, and for that, I'll come back here and component, and we are going to have three components. One is child.js, and close this to child.js. Second one is parent.js, and the third one is grandparent.js. Okay, so let us first have the child.js and RAFCE child.js. Just write child component parent. We will write RAFCE. Just it will have the child. Yeah, child it will have, and child component, and in the grandparent will have RAFCE. Grandparent will have parent. Okay, so grandparent will have the parent, and then let this be the order. Grandparent. Okay, so and the grandparent will be there in the app. Okay. Grandparent will be in the app, and if I go back, the child component will be shown. Okay. So it is there. So we want to pass some data from app directly to the child. So what we do? Okay. So the first thing which we need to do is to there is react.create context is there, so it will always be there where you do a hook approach or a class based approach, and this react.create context we have to use. So use context hook only replaces the part of the consumer. We'll soon see, means there is a provider and consumer. So this is what the provider is. From provider we send the data, and consumer we catch the data. Export const user context equal to react dot create context. Then we have to wrap everything, whatever we want to pass the data, we have to wrap that here. So user context dot provider, and user context dot provider will end here. Value equal to, so this value I wanted to pass. Okay, this value I wanted to pass, so save it. And then I directly want to get, so this is like prop, this value is like prop, so I directly want to get it in the child component and not in the grandparent and a parent component. Okay, so I directly go here, and here first we have to, I have to import user context from app. Okay, so from app I have done, and then here we have to do the consumer user context, which I have imported dot consumer like this, and so context dot consumer. Let me remove this, and user done. So now this user, we can take any name here. Okay, h1 component, and the context value we can directly use the user here. So the thing is that user, you might be thinking user and the name doesn't matter, value doesn't matter, you can take any name here. Okay, so user I have taken, you can take any name here. So if I go back and refresh it, it will be shown, Navindu is being shown. So this is how it is done. So now we will see another case. See, this is a simple thing, and this is known as render process. It is okay in simple case, but what happens if I want to share something else also? So let us do that, and for that let me copy this, and we can say it anything, maybe like a channel context and get context. And then this channel context, we are going to, again we have to wrap it, channel context dot provider I have to give, and value, let's take the value also ahead, value equal to the web dev. So my channel, if you're not subscribed, please do subscribe to my channel also, my YouTube channel, the web dev, and then this channel context dot provider I will do and save it. So this is how we do. So now what we want to do, we want to check this value also, we want to get this value also in our child. So, and there is where the complexity comes. See, we are still not using the use context. Okay, we're still using the earlier thing. So for that, what we need to do, first thing is user, it will come here. Let me remove this thing or else it becomes very complicated. So user will return. Okay, then I will remove this thing. Okay, then so this is very complicated. So user will return, after that we have to have a, okay, so like user context, we should have a channel context also, then here inside this return we'll do channel context dot consumer, and then channel context dot consumer is there, and then channel is there. So see, it gets so much complicated, and now we'll have this return. Now we can have both of them. So we are going to have two statements. So let me take a fragment. and then we can have a h1 child component, and same thing user, and h2 channel is channel. So this is done. Now if I go back, refresh, so both of them are coming, but the structure is so complicated. What have happened if I added one more? So this brackets will continue to increase. So this is known as render for, and this is very complicated. So this is where the use context hook comes. So use context hooks is not been used here. Always we will use a provider, but use context hook will be used somewhat here. So we'll do this in parent, means let this code be there. Do this in parent. We can do this in child also, use context, but let us do it here. So here in React we'll do use context. Use context is the hook, so we have to use it. Use context like this, and then the same thing we have to do. Let me copy this. Okay, let me copy it. Okay, and then here the context hook comes. Const user equal to use context and the user context, and similarly const channel equal to use context and channel context. Okay, and just see, we are done. Actually we just have to use this user and channel here, and h1 parent component user and channel. Parent component user and channel. Save it. And if I do this, this all is coming from here. This is a channel thing. So this is so much easy in comparison to this, all this thing. So that's why this is the power of hooks. Again, the power of hooks. Okay, so we are done here. So the next thing which we are going to do is the last thing which we're going to do. It is a today. So it is a useRef hook. So when we want to access the DOM element, so we use the useRef hook. Generally, it is not advised to access the DOM element, but there are many cases, in which we access the DOM element. Suppose we are using an old jQuery library, or there are many other cases also. So we'll do that. So for that, let me comment this out and comment this out also. Okay. So now I will have a new file known as focus input.js and focus input. Okay, and save it. Let me take it here. Focus input, and it is there. Focus input is there. Save it. Now we will do it. Okay, so the refs again, there is useRef hook. So useEffect and not useState, useRef file. Actually, useRef is a somewhat replacement of for useState only, and it is used at the place of it can be used at the place of useState. Okay, so here const input ref, any name you can take is useRef, and null useRef and null. So this is how we use it. And suppose we have a input type text and we don't need a value and on change, all those things when we use this useRef. Just to use this ref. So one thing is that this syntax is also cool, and there is something else also which we can do. So we can use a useRef like this also instead of using that like this, that value and on change those things, and again make in the set state again do that thing. Okay, so we can use it in that place. But also when you do this, it can get access to the DOM level element. So it get access to the DOM level element. So now what will happen, it will have use effect, will have, now we can access the DOM level element as I have told. So DOM level element has a lot of other things which React doesn't have because of the virtual DOM, and one of that thing is the, okay, so let me save it now, and let me see whether it is coming. Yeah, see, this input box is there, normal input box is there, and even I can type in it, means it is working. Okay, even I can type on it. But if I inspect it, okay, so it's okay. So the thing is that now I get access to all the DOM level things. Like there is something known as focus. I can access that focus also. By default, what happens when this page loads, the focus, I want the focus to be, focus means something like this blinking thing. I want by default to be here. So what I can do, I can do this input ref dot current. So there is a thing known as current, which is there in the ref only. Current dot focus I will do, and it's a function, and it is only running once. So let me save it, and when I save it, let me refresh it. I don't know how to reload. So see, by default this is coming here. Again I refresh it, by default this is coming. So this is known as focus, and this is a DOM level element. We can be accessed only through the reference. So this is what useRef is all about, and this you use on the on some basis. Suppose in production we use this a lot, because jQuery, although jQuery is not used anymore, but jQuery at one time before the React and Angular time, it was very popular. So there are many libraries written in it. Sometimes we use some jQuery thing, and for them React some module is not there. So React we use a lot of packages. Some packages are not there, that is only in jQuery. So you use that, and there are many other use cases.